because Kevin Stefanski doesn't think Shedeur belongs. Just like they don't think some black people belong in their neighborhoods. Kevin Stefanski does not believe, based on his pattern of behavior, egregious behavior, illegal behavior towards Shedeur Sanders. Kevin Stefanski doesn't believe Shedeur belongs. So he's trying to antagonize him and do anything and everything to prove his point in front of everybody, which is the humiliation factor. Now, let's be clear. This is on Haslam because Kevin Stefanski is doing Haslam's bidding. Anita Terry sent me a post via email from 2019. It was a video on YouTube that Haslam hired a black Harvard graduate just like Andrew Berry to be a high-ranking executive in the team. This guy's skin color and Andrew Berry's got to be tit for tat, right? And the disgusting part was it was well known, or it is well known, that Haslam politics aligns with the Republicans or Trump or whatever, right? He's not a Democrat. They said for 8 years he practically complained about Obama. But he chose as a high-ranking executive, a black Harvard graduate, just like Andrew Berry, same skin tone and everything. This gentleman, and every day or every time he addressed this young man, he addressed him as Obama. He didn't call him by his name. Who else does that? He might not call him by Obama, but he doesn't address Shedeur by name. Kevin Stefanski. That's being dismissive. You got a black high-ranking Harvard grad, and you can't even be respectful to call him by name. And that's 2019. And it's 2025, and you got yourself another black Harvard grad who could pass the paper bag test, which makes me question if his disdain for Shedeur is due to the melanin. Yeah, we've talked about that. You keep getting black people that you can stand because in your eyes, they passed the paper bag test, that they aren't the browner skinned African Americans, but you humiliate them too. If you complain about Obama for 8 years and you can't even address this executive that you paying all this money to by his name, you're disrespecting him. And to call him Obama when you clearly have disdain for Obama, why the hell did you hire him? For melanin's sake? The shade of melanin that you could stand? That's who Haslam is. So understand that Kevin Stefanski thinking Shedeur doesn't belong is not a coincidence. He was hired to gatekeep what the players, who they are on the team, how black the team becomes. Remind you, he's not the GM. So what does that tell you about Andrew Berry's real power if Stefanski drafted Dillon and the Browns sent Berry out there to refute what the Giants were saying about Coach Prime, to say, yo, we don't have a problem with Coach. We don't think Coach Prime would be a problem at all. Right, because they weren't going to never get Shedeur. So they're playing in his face too. And I mean Berry, just like they played in the Obama guy's face. And mind you, they interviewed the man about it, right? Sasha, they interviewed him. And he said he wasn't offended by it, but does that mean it wasn't racist? No. They could go up to Shedeur and ask him the same thing, and he could, out of pressure, say no. Does that mean you're not racist? So Haslam is not off the hook. And I happen to believe that because Shedeur is a browner skinned black person, they are abusing him and have no problem with him being hurt. They do not want a black quarterback long term to lead this team to victory. The ones that they have had either went 0-15 and were left to rot in front of 64,000 fans for 15 weeks. That's Haslam's doing because Stefanski wasn't there. This is why I say Huntington Bank and Bud Light needs to divest immediately from the Browns due to this egregious openly racist behavior of the owner. And as a Black woman, to know that you only hire Black people who can pass a paper bag test and you choose to abuse them too, tells me that you would never have Shedeur Sanders be your Black quarterback leading your team. You can't even stand to have a fully melanated Black executive. Their wives got to be white, or they got to be so light that you're not really sure if they Black. You can't, they're not obviously Black, they're ambiguously Black. It's enough. They appear Black enough so you could say you're not racist, but in fact you are. That's why your team is trash, because you're more worried about paying fully melanated, brown skin, beautifully melanated Black men triple digit millions or double digit millions. And even when you get somebody who could pass a paper bag test, you humiliate them too. Where y'all think the narrative is coming from about Myles Garrett being traded? Stefanski? No. Haslam. Why? Because I guess he talked back. I guess you're not supposed to let people know what's really going on.